is a horror movie starring Andrea Russet, the YouTube star, and it's a movie that I saw on the app Full Screen. I'm not entirely sure what this app is yet. I just downloaded it like a couple days ago. I'm still trying to figure out exactly what it is, but from my understanding, it's an app that allows you to watch phone-size videos, you know, Instagram-like quality videos, where it's like the size of a phone, really. The film follows Andrea Russet. She's visited by her cousin Taylor, who's having some family issues, some problems at school. And they go on this trip with some friends in order to find this haunted house or haunted place called Sickhouse. However, the catch is, this movie was filmed entirely on Snapchat. Meaning, how I watched this film? I watched it all entirely on my iPhone. A horror film centered around Snapchat, that definitely caught my interest because a couple years ago I had an idea on doing this. However, I just kind of gave up on the project because I didn't know how to get it out there. I mean, sure, people could probably watch it on Snapchat, but as far as getting it out there besides Snapchat, maybe say on YouTube, the video would just be like vertical, and that would be awkward to look at on YouTube. So I was trying to figure out how to do that. I still want to do that in the future, but as of now, I just haven't done it yet. So when I heard that somebody beat me to it, I was a little disappointed, but I wanted to check this out because Snapchat is such an interesting app to me. I use Snapchat on a daily basis, and knowing that somebody was using it for the purpose of making a horror film really sparked my interest. What can I say about this film? It really did scare me in the beginning and the middle, because as I'm watching this on my phone, I have the idea that this is like, you know, someone's Snapchat story. So it was a familiar feel that I was completely aware of, and at times I was really uncomfortable with the things that I was watching. And not a lot of scary things were happening yet. There was just a lot of tension and awkward silences within these Snapchat clips that I was just a little bit uneased. And that is what I liked about the film. I really liked that portion where I was just really uncomfortable and I didn't know necessarily what was gonna happen. So yes, I really enjoyed the beginning and the middle of the film, but once it reached that 75% mark, I don't know, it just lost my interest. Partially the reason why is because, you know, the film is based on build-up. It's building up towards something that you don't necessarily know what's gonna happen. There are things being hidden by the characters in the film, especially Taylor, Andrea's cousin. And you're sitting there with your phone and you're trying to figure out what's going on, if there's something that's gonna happen at the ending of the film, which is, you know, maybe gonna be worth the tension. And I gotta say, I don't know, I was kind of disappointed with how they portrayed the ending of this film, this Snapchat story. I will admit, I was very heavily invested in the beginning and the middle because there was a lot going on with these characters. You had no idea what was going on with her cousin, and you were trying to figure out where these random events were happening from. Like, why were they hearing noises in the middle of their house? Why were they experiencing this supernatural activity? And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm gonna be completely honest here. This film was exactly like, you know, a really well-known film with the same concept. I'm not gonna say Sickhouse shared similarities with this film. I'm gonna say that it's exactly like this film, The Blair Witch Project. One of the characters even mentions in the movie, have you guys seen The Blair Witch Project? Have you seen that movie? Just because one of your characters is saying, have you seen this movie, does not give you the liberty to just make a knockoff. Also, I don't know what they were doing with the character Taylor, Andrea's cousin in this film. I don't know if like you were supposed to feel for her or not, or if you were supposed to not like her. Her character was kind of a mixed bag for me because I was trying to figure out like what her deal was. Like, and she was doing really awkward things, like she would film her cousin like in the middle of the night. She would put it randomly on Snapchat for like thousands of people to see. And she would film her cousin having really personal conversations with people. And I don't know, I didn't know whether or not to feel for this character or if I was supposed to like her. I just didn't know what they were trying to do with this character that they were giving to me. I just didn't know what this movie was trying to do in regards to me feeling about this character. Another thing that I didn't really necessarily care for was the ending of this film. Like I said, I really like the beginning and the middle of the film. The tension is so high, it's so uncomfortable, but it feels like when you reach the end of the film, it's like, oh crap, we focus so much on building tension in the beginning and middle that we have yet to do anything that relates to the plot or a horror film in general. So when they finally get to kind of the ending of the film, it feels really rushed. It was like they decided to go ahead and do everything possible to make this a scary film, and it felt rushed. I feel as though they could have worked on it, and I feel as though it was just completely rushed. And a lot of that has to do with the amount of time this film has. This film is like a little over an hour, not even like an hour and a half. It's a little over an hour. I understand why, it's because it's a Snapchat movie, but I feel as though I would have been heavily invested in a full-length film. about Snapchat, because I knew from the get-go that I was getting involved with a film that was based on Snapchat. So if they wanted to make it longer, they could have, but they were afraid that people were going to lose interest while holding their phone. So I get that, but I don't know. I feel as though the ending was very rushed because of the time that they were given. Like I said, I enjoyed this film for the beginning and middle. I enjoyed how they used Snapchat to make it. I've been wondering when they were going to make a Snapchat movie for a very long time. They finally did it, and for the first time making a Snapchat movie, I liked it, but I just didn't like the ending, or when it reached that 75% mark. That's when it lost me. However, if you guys are interested in this concept, I would definitely recommend it. It's probably going to lose you in the third act, but if you want to see a horror film based on Snapchat, I mean, they have that now. However, they don't use filters. That's a little weird. This film took place in May of 2016, and they didn't use any filters whatsoever. I find that a little odd. None of them use filters whatsoever. I also noticed as I was editing this video that they would have had to save all the video that they put on their Snapchat story. You know, in order for this movie to have been made, the footage from the Snapchat story would have had to been saved. But still, that would have involved saving everything. So there's no possible way that they were just like, hey, let's save everything that we film onto my phone. They had no idea that later on they were going to be in a situation where they were involved in a haunted house. So the technicality of this movie is actually really stupid. So yes, guys, that was my review of Sickhouse, the Snapchat movie. Comment down below what you think of this if you've seen it yet. Like the video, share it, and please subscribe to Pixel Talk if you haven't yet for more movie reviews, trailer reactions, movie news, gaming content, and so on. Also, guys, I have a Snapchat. If you'd like to follow me on Snapchat, you can. Just like, I don't know if you want to just type in my username or scan my face or whatever. I know you can do that on Snapchat. You can, just here's my pic right here. And just, you know, add me on Snapchat. I do a lot of funny things in my spare time. I think you guys would love my personal life and what I have to say about life in general. So, yeah, that's gonna be fun if you add me on there. Thank you guys so much. I am Corbin Stuckey, and this is Pixel Talk.